What's up YouTube? Welcome back to Celio's Network. I'm very excited because today is my first video of Vivid Voltage content on PTCGO. Today I'm showcasing Coalossal VMAX, and this list I've been working on for about a month or so. I published it in a recent Patreon article where I completely went over the ins and outs of each card, the deck strategies, the matchups, and whatnot. So if you're not already a Patreon and you might be interested in content like that, definitely go check that out. Link is down in the description below, and it's only $3 a month to support my content and get access to those kinds of articles. But like I said, we're going to be talking about Coalossal VMAX, this deck that I've built. It was influenced by a deck that Shintaro Ito played at the Yokohama's Champions League over in Japan. He did not make day 2 with the deck though, but I did watch a streamed match. So he never published the list. This list isn't actually his. It's just something I built that was influenced by him. So the list we'll be looking at today, it kind of is almost a throwback to Primal Groudon. It's a very skill-intensive deck to play. I think it's super fun. It's very defensive, and it allows you to control the speed of the game, so I'm excited for you all to see that. Before we get into the deck list, though, shout out to PotownStore.com, my lovely sponsor, and the best place for you to get PTCGO codes. Be sure to use code Celio for 5% off over there. Now, let's take a look at the deck, and then we're going to get into some games with it. Alright guys, here's the Coalossal VMAX list I've been talking so much about. This deck has been a blast to cultivate, and now I'm finally playing with it on PTCGO. I've recorded the games that I'm about to show you guys prior to this deck profile, and I just can't wait for you guys to see these games. The deck worked beautifully. So as you can see, there's not a lot going on in the Pokemon section of the deck, but let's first take a look at the Coalossal VMAX. So Coalossal V, nothing special. I haven't attacked with this a single time yet, but Coalossal VMAX, 330 HP, of course, VMAX Pokemon. It gives your opponent 3 prizes when knocked out, but the goal is this thing won't be getting knocked out very much. The first attack, Eruption Shot, does 40 damage for 1 energy. Then you discard the top card of your deck. If that card is an energy card, this attack does 90 more damage, and attach that card to this Pokemon. So 130, accelerating energy, your fighting types, so you're hitting very important Pokemon like Crobat, Dene, Eternatus VMAX, Pikarom, Raichu for weakness. So very, very good attack for 1 energy. And then G-Max Boulder, which is kind of the main attack in the deck, but Eruption Shot gets used a ton as well. G-Max Boulder just is a very plain attack. For 4 energy, you do 240. And notably, the attack takes 3 fighting and a colorless, so that does allow you to tech in Weakness Guard energy if you want, and if not, you can play Capture energy like I am. So this is the main Pokemon of the deck. And then we have Snorlax, which has the ability Gourmandize. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may draw 7 cards. I'm sorry, you may draw cards until you have 7 cards in your hand. And then if you use this ability, your turn ends. So basically, it's Tropical Beach on a Pokemon. And then our last Pokemon is Guru from Sword and Shield. Primate Wisdom, once during your turn, you may switch a card from your hand with the top card of your deck. Goes super well with Eruption Shot. You can just set the top card of your deck as an energy. So this deck might not look like much just looking at the Pokemon line. But in my Patreon article I mentioned, I completely talk about how to play this deck, but if you watch the gameplay that's following this deck profile, I'm confident you can pick up a ton of the strategy and skills that it takes to play this deck. This deck probably won't come easy to you if you've never played something like it. I would compare it to Primal Groudon, and I would also compare it to the modern day Luke Metal Zacian. But this is a very slow deck, and it's not anything like most of our standard format. So most of the time, you're going to be hiding behind a Snorlax or a Lillie's Pokédoll, which does not give your opponent a prize card when it's knocked out. You're going to be hiding behind that while you set up a Coalossal VMAX. Now, the problem with trying to set up Pokemon on the bench, typically in our standard format, is that Boss's Orders is a very popular and very strong card. But with this deck, a lot of times, you don't mind Boss's Orders. You kind of just let your opponent deplete their resources and let them use their Boss's Orders. The reason we can do that is we are playing 4 Mallow and Lana, and we were playing 4 Stone Fighting Energy. So Stone Fighting Energy is the new special energy for fighting types, and it prevents 20 damage from attacks done to your Pokemon. So If you have 4 stone energy on a Coalossal VMAX, damage done to it is reduced by 80. It already has 330 HP. We're adding 50 more HP with buff padding, and then every time we play a Mallow Lana, we're healing 120 damage from it. So if they gust up your Coalossal VMAX, which you'll see people did plenty of times to me in these games, hopefully plenty of times. I played a lot of games. I'm going to show you guys the best ones I could get on the ladder. But when they gust up my Coalossal VMAX, I can just Mallow Lana, and from there I can either just let it sit on the bench for another turn, or I can pivot out into a Poké Doll and then put the Coalossal VMAX back into the active. The first game of this video, I'm going to be playing with 3 Tag Call and 0 Tool Scrapper, and then after that I switched over to 2 Tag Call and 1 Tool Scrapper. So just to let you guys know, I'll probably mention that between the games when I'm changing it as well. Some other very notable cards for the deck. Wondrous Labyrinth is really good because it makes the attacks of non-fairy Pokemon cost +1 energy, so you just let it sit out there while you're building up your Coalossal VMAX. So Coalossal VMAX is kind of like a ticking time bomb in this deck, because you're setting it up on the bench with your stone fighting energy, your buff padding, you're getting your Mallow Lanas into your hand, you Cynthia Caitlin for your supporters back to just build your hand and your deck to what you need it to be. You let your opponent knock out whatever you want and then stamp them to a low hand size, and then you just go, oops, I did not mean to click evolution instead, you just go G-Max Boulder, 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 and swing 240 until everything's knocked out. I talk a lot about the strategy and the ideology behind this deck during the game, so pay attention if you're interested in learning about this deck. Like I said, this was behind a premium article on my Patreon, but this deck is just so ridiculously good. I have to get it out there and talk about it because I'm just so thrilled with how good this deck turned out. So I hope you enjoy the games that follow this deck profile. I'll check back in with you after the games, but until then, enjoy the games, and I will also have the timestamps for each match in either the description or the comments, so if you want to just see a specific matchup, you can go to that one. But like I said, I do suggest checking all the games out because you definitely learn how to play the deck watching me play through all these games. So I'll see you after the games. Enjoy. So I'm going to choose to go second. I've been experimenting with first or second. Second can be really, really good because you get to play your supporter. Guzma Hala gets your energy attachment for turn, or you Marnie to try to draw into what you need to get Snorlax out into the active. So second is usually pretty good. The downside of going second, of course, is it takes 1 longer turn for you to evolve. If you go first, and then basically if you go first, your opponent gets 1 turn before you get to evolve, but going second, your opponent gets 2 turns before you get to evolve. We're playing against ADPZ, which is definitely a deck to have practice against, so it's a good one for us to hit on the ladder. I feel slightly favored versus it. While our Coalossal down, we really couldn't care less. Fine by me. Okay, cool. Get Tag Call. I think we can get rid of both of these quick balls, actually. Let me think. We could grab... We don't want a lot of cards in our hand, so yeah, we'll go ahead and get rid of this, and I'll get rid of 2 quick ball. Yeah, that's fine. We'll grab Wonder Lab, buff padding, and stone. We prized 1 stone. We'll put all this down. We'll search out our Coalossal VMAX for next turn, or do we worry about Marnie? There's 1 Marnie in the discard. Decks don't really play too many, or ADPZ decks don't really play too many Marnie. I think I want to go grab the Coalossal VMAX out now, but then it's not something I draw with the Gorman dies from Snorlax. So we'll go ahead and search this out, then draw 4 cards. Oh, really good. So we got stone energy. We can just get Cynthia Caitlin with this if we want to. And of course we are playing against ADPZ, so they're just taking a turn to do alter creation here if they bump the Wondrous Labyrinth. So we don't even have to worry about having another Pokemon to send up. So I imagine they're going to dig for a stadium. That's the goal here. Giovanni's Exile. Okay, we're playing against a little bit of an interesting list here, I would say. But yeah, even if you want to play Giovanni's Exile, just don't do it before your Dedenne. Like, Dedenne, I didn't see if you need to use a draw supporter, probably. That was really risky, because they could have just not drawn into a stadium there, but they did, never punished. Giovanni's Exile, just, that's such like a losing position card to play in this deck. Okay, boom, there's the altar. Go ahead and evolve. Get the stone energy down. Actually, if we're going to Cynthia Caitlin, we didn't have to do that yet. Because I do think I want to Cynthia Caitlin. Yeah, so I didn't have to evolve, but there's no world where I'm not doing that anyway. We could just get one Syncate, so we still get to draw off the Gormandize. So, like, I'll sack a card we don't need, like Coalossal V. I'll just sack that for Viridian, fail to search. Syncate. Replace Viridian with Martial Arts Dojo, play down my other Snorlax. Yeah, we'll just grab one Syncate. Sack this. We don't need the basic energy right now. Actually, we can just sack this Snorlax, I think. Right? Snore. Okay, that was my misplay then. We should have sacked the Coalossal V. That is my fault. Entirely. My bad. Yeah, unfortunately, I think we'll just not play a supporter this turn. We'll just go straight to Gormandize, draw up to 7. That was a sequencing misstep from me. I didn't need to sack the Coalossal V. I moved too soon. Basically, I did that too early. I should have discarded the Coalossal V with Syncate. And then if I need to empty my hand to use Gormandize, I can Viridian. So yeah, that was just a missequencing from me, 100%. Yeah, we'll just Gormandize. Now, like I was saying, ADPZ decks usually play like one or no Marnie, but this is obviously not a typical ADPZ deck if they're playing Giovanni's Exile. Okay, they take 2 prizes. Other than that, though, actually the deck looks pretty basic. Get 2 prizes there. Send up our next Lax, and we're moving right on. We're moving right along here. So, attach stone. I want Martial Arts Dojo next turn. Honestly, we don't even have to Gormandize. We can just put that up there to make them draw prizes, so our Martial Arts Dojo lasts longer and our reset stamps are better. What do we want here? Let's quick ball this away and grab a Pokemon we don't need out of the deck. And we'll just Syncate the Marnie back to our hand. Oh, nice. All is very good for pivoting. Could scoop up the Lax and send out Pokédoll, make them swing into that, but I really don't see a point in that. I'd rather have the doll here as a pivot for later on. And so yeah, here, as long as they... Is there one card we can get rid of to scoop up net? Yeah, probably don't need to scoop up net. Just get rid of net, draw nothing, get nothing off of the Viridian, and Gormandize for one. Now, if they have another Mawile, that would actually be a problem, because we just drew into Snorlax. That would be pretty terrible for me. Let's see if they play double Mawile. Please don't. Okay, it's just another ADP. We're fine. I would have got really punished there. I wasn't even thinking of it. Next time we hold on to the scoop up net 100%. Here's Boss. This is where we get to see the beauty of Coalossal VMAX. So Ultimate Ray for 130. Very nice. Let's go ahead and do this. And send out this. We'll attach return. They could always be playing hammers, you never know, so we'll get ahead on our energy attachments here. And then Gormandize. Perfect. They go down to 2 prize cards. And we'll go Martial Arts Dojo Stamp. VMAX Boulder, boom. I think I am actually adding Tool Scrapper, which in my Patreon article was one of the possible tech cards or possible additions for the deck. So I'll probably put this game as the first in the video when I edit, so I can add in a the Tool Scrapper after this game. Trying to think what I'm going to take out for the Tool Scrapper. It could be the Scoop Up. No, it's not going to be the Scoop Up net. I already take that back immediately. And they scoop! Awesome. Yeah, from there we just win. Too much healing for them to handle. So very nice. That's how the typical ADPZ game will go. But yeah, for the next game, I'll have Tool Scrapper in the deck. Okay, so I'm trying out -1 Tag Call for a Tool Scrapper because, like in that case for the game you just watched, if the ADP player was playing Big Charm like they should, then Tool Scrapper becomes something that really helps us out there. We could probably still win even if they are playing Big Charm and we're not playing Tool Scrapper, but I think Tool Scrapper is just a nice, safe card to have around, so we'll try a couple games with Tool Scrapper. So like I think I began mentioning before the ADP game, I am selecting to go second when I get the choice. And of course, if I know what I'm playing against, that could further influence my choice. But choosing first just feels really greedy, because what you want is either a Snorlax or a doll in the active, then an energy on your Coalossal. And to ask for that without a supporter card, I think is pretty greedy. So I think it's much more safe to go second just in general. If testing finds that there are matchups where you need to be a little bit greedy to come out on top, then of course selecting first is better, but I feel safer selecting second with this deck. Alright, we're playing against Poison Eternatus. Should be a fine matchup. Here we're just gonna have a pretty simple turn of attach capture energy. We'll Cynthia first, Cynthia Caitlin. And then if we don't get the Coalossal off of that, we'll just attach capture energy to Snorlax. Search out our Coalossal V with it, and then Gormandize for a couple cards. That was really bad. Why would they switch into Hoopa? That had to have been a misplay. All right, what do we got? We got Marnie. I like the Marnie, honestly, but now when they only have 2 cards in hand, I don't like the Marnie then. So, we'll drop a switch to draw 3. We do not get Coalossal V. We get the wrong Coalossal. So, go ahead and do this to grab Coalossal V. Even if we play Martial Arts Dojo, we get to draw 1 card. Honestly, they have this Hoopa stuck out there. I feel like Dark City's like really important because of that misplay they did. So we're just gonna throw our Martial Arts Dojo out there and Gormandize for 1. And it's important to know like kind of the common counts in popular decks. So like 2, maybe 3 Dark City is the maximum. And Assault Gate does nothing. Did they not read the card or something? I don't understand why they retreated to it early last turn. Yeah, so let's us go ahead and evolve. Go ahead and Guzma Hala. I just want the buff padding and the stone energy. No stadium for now. Prized our 4th stone energy again. And from here we just set up a thick Coalossal and then try to run through their board. That's the plan. Of course, once they go up ahead on prizes, we can start knocking things out with just 1 energy on Coalossal VMAX. You know, we'll quick ball for our Guru, set the top card of our deck as we want it, and then we'll be good to go with the Eruption Shot attack. I'm recording these games prior to recording the deck profile, so I'm thinking I probably explained the Eruption Shot attack in the deck profile, but you never know, I can miss something. I was just really itching to get onto the ladder with Coalossal VMAX because I built this list like probably almost a month ago and wrote my Patreon article about it and everything. So like I've been just sitting on this list waiting to get into PTCGO with it. That's capture energy, correct? Yeah. Okay, we gotta make sure people aren't out here teching weakness guard for us yet. Because when that happens, we'll want to add another scoop up net and add a Tina probably. But I'm glad they're like sticking into the game because it's definitely winnable for them. Just because they're weak to us doesn't mean that if they play well they can't beat us, especially being the poison variant. Oh, so actually I think I really like the position we're in here. Yes I do. I like where we're at. So, let's see. Do we Marnie or do we Syncate? If we Syncate, we get to know what's up. Yeah, we'll Syncate. Syncate's better. Because, like, so basically, my plan is we can get a knockout on this with Eruption Shot. We'll just search out Guru. But I want to be able to attach energy for turn and accelerate one with Eruption Shot, so then next turn we have 4 energy on Coalossal. Do we have a Marnie in the discard already? We do, so that's perfect for me. So we can just discard this Marnie and get another Marnie back. I think I like that. Draw 3 and we'll see what's up. Okay, so we don't get another energy. That was kind of what I needed to see happen to go to move forward with this plan. So we'll just attach. And in this matchup, it's fine to set up another Coalossal VMAX because we can let them knock out a Coalossal VMAX and 2 single prizers, and then our next Coalossal VMAX comes out when they're at just 1 prize left. So you're playing Tool Scrapper or Drill? Probably not. Mallow Lana is still good in this matchup, but we typically won't need like 4 Mallow Lana. So I think we want to grab this Coalossal and put it on the bench. That's just one thing we get out of this hand in case they Marnie us next turn. So we can do that. Switch could still come in handy. We can dump another Mallow Lana just because this also means we get to draw more with Gormandize. So we'll play these down. We'll buff padding. And no need to Guru. We'll Gormandize for 3. Nice. We get our other Coalossal VMAX. That's good. Okay, and they're just going to pass here. Capture energy. So we could have used capture energy here. That's okay. I think we'll play capture energy. We're not going to use it though. We'll evolve this. Switch out into this. And then Marnie. We want to hit an energy here. That's the big thing. Let's go. Very nice. Very nice. We hit the energy. And eruption shot. So, this Coalossal deck can definitely have very minute changes based on the way that the format develops. But most of it will stay the same. Like I was mentioning, if Eternatus starts playing Weakness Guard Energy, then you just like add another Scoop Up Net and you add a Tina, and then you have that package. But honestly, in my Patreon article, I went over like the math and everything, and even if they have Weakness Guard Energy, you can still just beat them. Honestly, at that point, you might just throw a potion in. And again, some math I mentioned in my Patreon article, potion was in the list at some point. Potion's not bad. Assault Gate, no poison. They do 50 with that Assault Gate. Really just not a lot. So 270 would, their max damage is 270, and that would do 230. So that would only put us up to 280. So even if they can also poison us, that still wouldn't be knocking us out. Unfortunately, we do not have a boss's orders handy yet. Let's go ahead and put this here. And I guess we could put Dojo to the top. Of course, we could just get lucky and top deck boss's orders. We do not. We'll just Gmax Boulder. And see what happens here. So yeah, now we just need to knock out one Eternatus and we win. Koga's Trap, we're confused and we're poisoned. Alright. Oh wait, they have 2 Toxicroaks down now. Wait, we might actually get knocked out here. Hold up. 2 Toxicroak, 270, 230. It does 50, 280. No, we're still not knocked out as long as they don't remove the buff padding. As long as buff padding stays, we're still not knocked out. Yep. Martial Arts Dojo. That's not what we needed to see, is it? Is it now? Well, Mallow Lana to this. Replace that. And Gormandize for 5. Another reset stamp. So typically my deck is the one that's going to be doing the reset stamping, but we took that early lead, which it might have been incorrect to take that early lead. Oh, they just researched themselves down to a 4-card deck. Yeah, typically we're not taking the early lead, but the opportunity presented it, so I figured we'd see what happened with it. Oh, they're just going to pass and leave that out there. So we'll just go grab a Mallow Lana. And we'll take the knockout with, oh, they scooped. Okay, yeah, we'll take the knockout with GMAX Boulder, I believe it's called, on the Eternatus there for the game. Choosing to go second, as I have typically been doing. Ooh, pretty nice start. I don't love having the capture energy as my attachment for Coalossal, but the capture energy is kind of a safety precaution that I keep in the deck. And we're playing against Pika. I worry we'll get a quick scoop here. Oh, you have a good deck. Oh, if it wasn't for Chaotic Swell, this hand's actually nutty. But we're probably just gonna sack the Wondrous Labyrinth to the Swell. They're really doing it all here. Lightning the Coco to D, right? Yep. We're going second, dog. Chill. Oh, we are Marnieing them, so it was correct to use the energy switch, but I don't know if they had to use Coco there. Oh, even better. We get the stone energy that I wanted. So, doll. We'll bump that. And, do a little Marnie. Heartbreaking for my opponent. We can just hold on to the Guru for now. While Gorman dies. Our hand isn't, like, amazing. So, like, our opponent could very realistically be able to pull something out here. So I'm happy that the last two Fighting Week opponents have not just scooped after seeing a fighting deck. That's really fortunate for me since I'm trying to record content. Okay, and we see a Bolt Storm. Go ahead and grab and put that down. This turn's going to just be a Guzma Hala for Stone Energy turn, I think. Let's quick ball this away. We're going to try to get 2 Coalossal VMAX set up, just in case something bad happens. Some matchups you just set up 1 Coalossal VMAX and just have a bench of dolls, like versus ADPZ. But in other matchups, you're able to have 2 VMAXs on the board. Or even just a VMAX and a V and like bait them to go waste a boss and damage on the V, and then they can never knock out the VMAX after that. Then we're going to Guzma Hala, this, and this. Grab the... Do we want the buff padding? Pika could play Tool Scrapper. We'll keep buff padding for our second one in there until later. Let's grab Stone Energy and Dojo, but let me also check the deck. Make sure we have some basic energy. We have all our Mallow Lana. We have Tool Scrapper, but I don't think that'll ever be necessary in this matchup. Okay, so we'll just grab these for now. And this really makes this Coalossal V safe since we haven't been able to evolve it yet. We'll play that down. We do only play the 1 Guru and no way to get Pokemon back, so that's why I keep this in my hand. You'll probably notice that over the course of the games. I try not to play that down until I have to. So some pretty decent cards out of that, but still no Evolution Incense or Coalossal VMAX, and that's just an issue with playing VMAX decks as opposed to all basic decks like Pikarom. So here's Bolt Storm. We'll send out a doll. Beautiful that we can just send out a doll and then send it to the bottom of the deck if necessary. We get the Coalossal VMAX, and here we go. Okay, so we're going to play down the Guru. And Marnie here, I believe. Yeah, well, Marnie here. We're just looking for a single energy of any kind. We get a single energy of any kind. Beautiful. We also got another evolution incense, so we'll just go ahead and pop a Coalossal VMAX out of the deck. We're gonna Lillie Pokédoll the Pokédoll to the bottom, send this bad boy out there, Guru and energy to the top of the deck, and then Eruption Shot for plenty of damage. And now we're also set up to take a knockout on Pika or Raichu or pretty much whatever, because we can use G-Max Boulder next turn. We have Martial Arts Dojo out, but it's only buffing us by 10 damage now that we have the basic fighting energy. Remember that it doesn't work without the basic fighting energy on. They're playing hammers, but realistically they could remove 2 out of 3 energy and we're still fine with the hand that we have. And we play 4 Mallow Lana, so plays like this will typically not affect us since we play 4 Mallow Lana, 2 Tag Call, because I think we took out the 3rd Tag Call for the Tool Scrapper. I'm trying to recall what our change was. And we also play 2 Switch and we play Cynthia Caitlin. So we'll just Mallow Lana this. Get rid of Incense and Quick Ball since we never need more Pokemon in this game. Go into this. And we'll put Switch on top of the deck because they are going to try to paralyze us here. And we still have to take 1 more prize card. G-Max Boulder. So we go down to 1 prize card. We could very realistically get stamped here, but even if we get stamped, we still don't lose. Like, even if we stamp pass into the paralysis, we still don't lose. So Marnie. Perfect. We put the Switch on top in case we got Marnie. Would you look at that? There's the paralysis. We got our Switch. So we'll switch to Doll and then win. They've been talking the whole game. I'll say well played. I'll be nice. GG. Shouts out to my opponents for not scooping because I'm playing a fighting deck. And coincidentally, we had a fighting daily challenge. Let's go. Not the best hand, but completely workable. We just hate leaving a Coalossal in the active. That's what we don't want to do. We're playing against Inteleon. Very interesting. No weakness here. We're weak to grass, so this should be a pretty cool matchup. Especially, we'll have to see if they're playing the new telescopic sight. We'll have to see if they have Keldeo GX to get around my damage reduction. So what do we want to do here? Well, we know they probably just have a supporter, but we really don't want to attach and leave a Coalossal V active because then they'll set us back an energy for turn because they can use Hydro Snipe. So we'll bench this Coalossal, attach to it, get rid of Syncate, and we'll grab our Snorlax because this is our goal here is to switch into Snorlax. Unfortunately, we didn't have Tag Call, or we would have just Tag Called for Mallow Lana and called it a day. So we're gonna Marnie here and see what happens. We got a switch. Oh, when the deck is just too good, it's too good. We hit the switch, and now we can Gourmandize for 3, and we don't have to leave a Coalossal active. Absolutely. Mwah, beautiful. And we can double evolve here, too. Just insane. Crushing Hammer. Tails. Okay. We can deal with hammers, because we can just sit behind our dolls and keep attaching. Snipe Shot dealing 40 to us while we're on the bench. We don't have stone energies on there yet, but would you look at that? Here's a stone energy. So we're going to attach stone energy, evolve both of our Coalossals. We can Tag Call, but what do we Tag Call for? We can Syncate, but what do we Syncate for? Many questions to be questioned. Huh. Well, we could always tag call for Guzma Hala, and we can use that next turn. We already had our stone energy, so we don't need the Guzma Hala here. Let's tag call for these two. And actually what we'll do is we will Guzma Hala. We empty our hand a little bit in the process as well. And we can just get that Mallow Lana back when we need it. We're gonna grab this, this, and this. So we get to empty our hand. We get to play Guzma Hala and discard 2 cards. And we're searching out 3, and we're playing 2 of them down immediately. So that's good for Gourmandize. We'll play this down, we'll play this down, and we Gourmandize for 3. Here we go. Alright, we got a doll, that's good to have. Tag Call energy, pretty decent cards. Zigzagoon. So the play I'm seeing here is if they keep trying to do damage to Coalossal on the bench, we can literally just scoop up the Snorlax, play it back down, Mallow Lana the damage off, and go back into Snorlax and start all over again. Oh, they can't attack. They're not drawing very well. Okay. So boo for them not drawing very well, because I would like to have a competitive match, but we'll take what we can get here. So, honestly, we don't need to draw cards. I kind of think I'm just gonna Syncate for the first effect, grab Guzma Hala, and then draw a card with Gourmandize. That might be all I have to do here. Could also tag call for Guzma Hala. But I think this is better because I save a raw Guzma Hala in the deck. But how many more times do I really need to use Guzma Hala? Yeah, how many more times do I really need to use it this game? So we can grab these 2. Okay, yeah, this is fine. So we'll grab these 2. Those. And we'll just grab a stone energy, I believe. Actually, no, we'll also grab buff padding. I feel like it's very, very rare for Inteleon to play Tool Scrapper. And they're also not off to a good start, as is obvious by them not really doing anything last turn. So we're just going to safely set up and take the game over from there. Okay, Marnie is fine. Hopefully they can get going a bit here so they can get back into the game. Might just be another snipe shot from them. We did lose our scoop up net there though. That's a little upsetting. Speaking of scoop up net, there's one. Putting some more damage onto the Coalossal. Actually, snipe shot doesn't damage this Coalossal anymore because we have 2 stone energy now. Okay, Training Court. Now, I typically don't like to see Training Court in an Inteleon list when they're also playing Crushing Hammers, because in the event where you needed this for yourself, but then you're also playing Crushing Hammers and it works, then you're giving your opponent back their energy, and I just don't like that. They didn't realize Stone Energy was going to stop all that damage, and they just hit me. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see a scoop here. Just going to go ahead and Mallow Lana into this and swing. Take 2 prizes. Yeah, I don't see how we lose this game now. But even if they did have a better start, I do think this should still be favored for us, just because, like, let's say we have 2 stone energy down and they're doing 160-60 a turn. That's 120-60 a turn. And 120 could just be fully healed by Mallow Lana, which we play 4 of. So I think this is a good matchup for us anyway. And we have Boss's Orders on their Inteleon V if they don't evolve that this turn, so they're definitely going to hate it if we're able to knock out that Inteleon. Here comes a Crushing Hammer. Okay. Tails, they've just not been having any luck at all. We did discard 3 of our Mallow Lana though in both of our Syndicate, but I was pretty frivolous with discarding the Mallow Lanas because I didn't see us needing them at this point in the game when we had 2 Coalossal VMAX set up and they really weren't doing much of anything. The Lapras is cute, but they need 4 energy to do it, and then we can just put one on top with Oranguru and knock it out. So they have to allocate way too much energy for this and not enough payoff. Cool. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to do this. We'll hold this energy in our hand, I think. We'll just hold that. And G-Max Boulder. Earlier I was saying, like, I appreciate my opponents not scooping, but here I don't blame them if they scoop, because this one just, like, there's no line of play to come back into this one. There's a heads on the stone energy. So they're able to Crushing Hammer away another energy. The 2 stone energy is gone, but it's still, at this point, like I said, it's just not enough. They can Aqua Wash 2 energy back to our hand. We'll just use Eruption Shot. So last turn I would have actually just quick balled for my Guru. Because if they were to like gust up the Guru, that means they're not removing energy from Coalossal with Lapras. So I should have just been safe and got the Guru, but we won't be punished for that here anyway. So we do take the full 70 because they got rid of both of the stone energy. I think all of their hammers are gone. Yeah, all 4 hammers are gone. So we'll just go ahead and quick ball for Guru. We'll attach here and Guru this to the top. And oh boy, okay. Well, that was convenient. GG. Good G. Choosing to go second. And ooh, this is a great hand. This is very good. Going first with this hand would have been fine too. But yeah, this is really, really good. Versus ADPZ again. Nice. I'm glad to be hitting this again. Because you definitely want to be testing against the decks that are have been performing the best. What is this? They're playing Aurora Energy, Capture Energy, and Metal Goggles. This is not the ADPZ I know. Oh, what is happening here? What do I get rid of? Get rid of a Lax. Because I can always capture energy the other one out. Actually, so he already attached. They go next turn. No, we're going to want 2 Snorlaxes. We are going to want 2 Snorlaxes. 2 Snorlax is just about always the move versus ADPZ, according to my current testing results. The only time 2 Lax doesn't work is if they're able to Marnie, not look at it, flippin' Marnie, is if they're able to Mawile a basic that you didn't plan on having on the bench to your hand, and then you have to hit Scoop Up Net to get the Lax or the Guru back to your hand to make up for the extra Pokemon being down. But you could usually get rid of excess Pokemon really, really well with this deck, because of Guzma Hala, Mallow Lana, Cynthia Caitlin, and Quick Ball. Okay, so their deck is not performing well. They're playing some tag call special energy kind of stuff they got going on here, and that is not the move. So we'll do some of this and then some of this. And oh, we'll dump this because we're never using that. And then Gorma dies. I'd say from here, there's no way we can lose this game. Like, they missed turn 2 altar creation. It's just over. Honestly, I shouldn't even say that because the speed typically won't matter because we can kind of control the speed of the game. Of course, ADPZ is ADPZ, so that's one of the hardest decks to control the speed of the game versus, but we can usually just Mallow Lana to the bench, send out a doll, your go. Oh, you bossed again? Okay, Mallow Lana, send out a doll, you're going to miss boss eventually. And eventually we'll get 2 Mallow Lanas in a row without being hit. Ninetales, okay. Okay. So, yeah, they're going very techy. Very, very techy. And they also need a stadium. Oh, they're going to alter for 3 energy due to the Wonder Lab. Okay, there's the altar. We've got Tool Scrapper in hand just in case they had Big Charm, but they do not. Honestly, I like my hand. Like, all of this is so good. I guess I don't need double stamp, but if they Marnie us, then it makes one of the stamps easier to find. That's kind of why I have 2 stamps, because you really only need 1 stamp most of the time, but it's just finding one of the stamps gave me reason to have 2 in the deck because I want to be able to find it consistently. But yeah, what do I even want to do here? I already attached return. I don't want to really get rid of any of these resources because they probably play Big Charm and I might want the Tool Scrapper for that. Boss's Orders is really good. Yeah, I think, gosh golly, I think I'll just pass. So we can't even Gorman dice because we have a hand of 7. But I already attached return, so I like where I'm at with this. Boss's Orders, that's perfectly fine. Because we're just going to heal literally the entire damage they dealt to us. So that is a-okay. So yeah, we'll go Mallow Lana. Probably has to be Martial Arts Dojo and not boss. Guess it's going to be Martial Arts Dojo. Stamp. We'll go into the lax. And we'll Gorman dies. Yay. We need to get this Coalossal out of our hand. That's super important versus ADPZ. You have to constantly be getting rid of the excess Pokemon due to Mawile, but they could maybe not even be playing Mawile in this deck since it's a pretty funky build. There's Ultimate Ray. They go down to 4 prizes. We do need to hit a basic fighting for Viridian Forest for Martial Arts Dojo to work, so I do need to keep that in mind. Metal Goggles doesn't affect us. Wait, no, yes it does. Metal Goggles does affect us. What am I saying? Only if we don't have Dojo and a fighting energy. So let's play this down. We're gonna get rid of both of these. We don't want those around. We'll grab our buff padding and we'll grab our stone and we'll look for, we have all 5 basics in there, so Just a matter of drawing into them. Okay, there's one of the basics. We're good to go. Perfect. Beautiful. The dream scenario. We'll play our martial arts dojo. We'll play our basic fighting. We'll stamp them down to 2. And take a knockout. Absolutely gorgeous. Good job, Coalossal VMAX. I'm proud of you, buddy. So they swing into us. Oh, Crushing Hammer. Okay. All right, calm down, everybody. Crushing Hammer can affect us. Remember that. But it is a 50-50 card, and they flip tails, so we're good. Here, actually, Mawile could get us because we drew Snorlax off the prizes. So Mawile could have done us dirty here. Zamazenta isn't really a threat because versus ADPZ you can just gust around it. Like we're about to do. So yeah, we have Dojo, so we just take a knockout. And then we can tag call for Cynthia to get the boss's order back next turn if we have to, and just chill for a turn. We can, and then from there we can like quick ball for Guru, set the top deck, and just gust up at the Dene if we had to. If Zamazenta is giving us a problem getting rid of our energy, but actually we can just attach extra energy, and then that's not going to be an issue. We want to get rid of the Lax. Oh, Guru's not in here. Did we discard it? No, Guru. Oh yeah, we did get discarded. Okay, so Guru's not an option actually, but we can just attach excess energy and we should be fine. We're completely out of basic Pokemon, so now we no longer have to worry about Mawile. Let's take a knock. So Zamazenta V, in theory, of course, can be a threat. Typically in practice, it's not going to be because your opponent's going to have other things benched. But if they play perfectly or can just get the perfect setup, it can be an issue. So Galarian Sirfetch'd V is a potential card you could play, but I really don't consider it to be necessary. So we'll grab our Cynthia. Cynthia for boss. They'll probably Marnie us or something. We'll just switch into our doll. Get some extra energy on because Zamazenta removing all of our energy is their only win condition, I think. And pass. So we have boss in hand. Let's see if they can disrupt our hand. If they do, okay, we're still good to go. They do have a large hand, but let's see what they've gone rid of. Oh, they scooped. Okay. GG. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed those games of me playing Coalossal VMAX. We ended up winning every game I played on the ladder tonight. I played for about an hour and a half, and I ended up winning every game so far with the deck. Of course, it's just a PTCGO ladder, but it's showing that the deck is working consistently and the way that I wanted it to work. So I hope you enjoyed this deck profile and gameplay of Coalossal VMAX. I don't really have a name for this version of Coalossal yet, so go ahead and leave your best names for it in the comments down below. Also, leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to the channel if you have not already subscribed for daily Pokemon TCG content. Shout out to my sponsor, PotownStore.com, the best place for you to get PTCGO codes, and use code Celio for 5% off. Let me know what Vivid Voltage cards you want covered in the near future on this channel. I will be playing a ton of Pokemon on PTCGO because I'm super stoked to get into all these new fun cards out of Vivid Voltage. So until next time, have a great day, and I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network.